San Francisco, what a historic city, known for the Ghirardelli Square, the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, and of course, the first West Coast Nintendo store here on Powell Street, the street famous for the cable car, making it a prime location for tourists. Now, I used to live in San Francisco. In fact, it is the city in which I initially wore my Yoshi hat, although at the time, it was green. Nowadays, I've since moved cities, and as a result, I've changed Yoshi hat colors, so it kind of feels full circle to come back here and visit the store with my new attire. Even so, I am very excited to be here because it is the second day since the store has opened, one day past the grand opening, but I will still be among one of the first people to ever visit the store. I have an appointment momentarily, so I'll be able to go inside and check it out, and as someone who has also visited each of the Japanese Nintendo stores, I'll be able to see just how it compares and stacks up. So, let's go ahead and check it out. Oh, I love San Francisco. The Nintendo San Francisco store is located in a pretty prime part of town, being located just beside Union Square and the huge Macy's building and shopping center. This location is a popular tourist area and is relatively safe to visit and convenient to access. As for the store itself, it's located on the corner of the block, being located just beside the Westin St. Francis Hotel. Since this was Nintendo San Francisco's opening week, I had to register for an appointment and wait in line before I could officially enter the store, which wasn't a huge deal as I was fortunate enough to line up with some other fun and like-minded Nintendo fans. And with that in mind, I imagine that this location will remain very busy for the next month or two, so I'm very grateful that I was able to explore the store around this time. What's more is that I absolutely love San Francisco, so I was definitely excited to have an excuse to return to the city. As the first official Nintendo store on the West Coast, I am super glad that Nintendo chose San Francisco as its location. In any case, after waiting about 30 to 40 minutes in line, I was able to enter the store and do some shopping. Here's a showcase of the store itself and the merchandise that it provides. Alright, so I had to get a San Francisco hoodie. I was very surprised that they had a gray and a red one, but they only have them in a couple of sizes. I don't know if that's because they're sold out or because they only manufacture them in a couple of sizes. But either way, I got a hoodie. That's awesome. I wish they had a couple more zip-ups, but simply for the fact that it says San Francisco, I got it because I'm trying to collect them all from all the Nintendo stores, so now I have a San Francisco one. Oh, they do have zip-up hoodies, but they're for Peach. That's cool. Okay, I'll keep walking. All right, yeah, here we go. This is more my jam. Splatoon is my jam. I'm playing this since the beginning. Plus, they're playing Splatoon music right now, so I gotta capitalize on that. Might genuinely get Splatoon socks. These are cool. Octolink socks? That's cool, sorry. Squid Crew? Maybe. Alright, well now that you're filming, I feel like I have an obligation to get it, right? I'll get them. I guess that's some nice socks. Okay. They have like a luxury clothing section. Sort of. Sorry. So, they have these items for if you're ever feeling fancy, you want to get like a dress shirt that's Zelda themed. That's cool. They also randomly have Hisuian Zoroark over here, so I guess that's a luxury item too. But the one last thing I want to point out is I actually have this hoodie. They sell this one at Nintendo of Japan, but the important thing is that the zipper is on the right side. When you buy items from the Japanese stores, the zipper goes on the left. So you can officially get this item in America and have the zipper be on the right. So I think that's cool. I'm not going to get it. I already have it. I'm good. But just thought I'd point that out. Otherwise, there are a lot of items here that are not in the Japanese stores, or at least I didn't see them when I was last there a couple months ago. So there's a nice combination of newer items and Japanese items, and I can really appreciate that. The store itself is structured similarly to Nintendo's Japanese stores, in that there are sections themed after specific franchises, with Mario, Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, and Splatoon serving as Nintendo's titular icons, with Pikmin also providing a notable section as well. Nintendo also has other series, such as Metroid and Donkey Kong, represented in their store, but their sections are noticeably smaller and are more so just small chunks of the store at large. But still, it's nice to see merchandise for these franchises be represented in some regard, and admittedly, the Metroid merchandise is pretty cool. And across all of the franchises and sections, each one had a decent selection of clothing, toys, plushies, and home decor. Nintendo San Francisco has 2 floors, with guests entering on the second floor, which primarily features Mario and Animal Crossing merch on the left, and general Switch Joy-Con and gift card merchandise alongside other products like Alarmo in the back. Basically, think of it as Mario and Animal Crossing on one half of the store, with more general Nintendo goods on the other half. Almost directly in front of the entry doors is the staircase that allows guests to access the lower floor. This is where the merchandise for each of the other franchises are represented, with Legend of Zelda and Splatoon having major areas. With some merch of Kirby and Pokemon also available, though I imagine these sections weren't as huge because they have their own stores and a ton more merchandise back in Japan, but at least they had some representation here. There's also a large wall full of various amiibo figures in the back. Additionally, there's a My Nintendo check-in area, where Nintendo players can earn some small rewards with their My Nintendo accounts, and there's a large screen where guests may try out specific Nintendo games on display. For this week, guests could play split-screen Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. During my visit, I focused on purchasing items that were exclusive to this store, which would essentially be anything that was specifically branded with the Nintendo San Francisco logo. Each Nintendo store typically provides a shirt with this logo, and since I already have the ones from the Japanese stores, I figured that I may as well go ahead and get the one from here too. There were also Nintendo San Francisco hoodies with the same design, coming in red and gray colors, so I opted to purchase a gray one of those. Otherwise, the majority of the merch that's available at Nintendo San Francisco is also available in Japan, but I did at least notice a couple of items that seem to be new, or relatively new. So even if almost all the products on display here are available across the sea, it appeared as though some merchandise made their official debuts here. I also just had a very pleasant experience shopping around. Everyone was super nice, and there were even some fans of me. All of the guests and employees were super kind and respectful, and there were even some fans of me that wanted to take pictures, so I let them take pictures. So I can now walk away from my shopping spree being able to say that I had a very positive experience and that I would absolutely love to return to this store in the future. If there are any other Nintendo players out there that are interested in visiting San Francisco one day, I strongly encourage them to check out the Nintendo San Francisco store. Alright, well, after about an hour of waiting in line, an hour of shopping at the store, and then about an hour walking over to here, I would say that that was a successful mission. Pretty cool store, and I'm glad that I got to check it out. I'm also very glad that Nintendo chose San Francisco of all cities to follow their New York store. I know some might have argued that Los Angeles maybe should have been the second place for them to put a store, and it should have been the first place on the West Coast. But I would argue that, historically, San Francisco is more similar to New York. They were both immigration ports. San Francisco had Angel Island, New York had Ellis Island. But this isn't a history lesson. Point is, I'm glad they picked San Francisco. I love San Francisco. I'm gonna wander around for a bit, but otherwise, I do encourage tourists to check out the store. Pretty cool stuff in there. It's probably really busy right now. Maybe check it out in a month, or maybe check it out after the Switch 2 launches, but I do encourage any Nintendo fan to give it a shot. And then, as a bit of a bonus detail, because you know that Nintendo loves their bonus details, the receipt that you get for your order has Pikmin on the back of it. So I think that that's just kind of fun. And then, because I went during the opening week, I got a collector's coin. You can get Mario, Zelda, Inkling, Animal Crossing. I think they have a Pikmin one as well. I got classic Mario, probably because I was wearing a Yoshi hat and a Mario hoodie, so that's what they gave me. Or maybe it is random and I just happened to get Mario. But either way, this is really cool. I don't know if these are just for the opening week because it has the opening day on it, but I got one and I'm happy to have it. I suppose that in the grand scheme of things, while I would have been glad to have gotten any of the Nintendo character coins, I'm glad that I got the Mario one because it'll go nicely with my old Year of Luigi coin that I got back in 2014. 11 years ago, that's crazy. And it goes next to the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe World Championship coin that I got back from Nintendo Live. And I know that my little windowsill here is dusty. Okay, I'll clean it up. I need to do that. It's just usually I have the window open and then a bunch of dust gets in here. I'll clean it up. But it's cool that I got the Mario coin. I just wanted to point that out. And so, we've reached the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please click on the like button or leave a comment. Either of those actions would really help me out. And hey, in case you didn't know, I have another channel called my Blue channel where I frequently post editorial and discussion type videos. You can head over there by clicking on the video icon in the lower right corner. So, if you wish to watch something a little more relaxing or just need some more background noise, please consider checking it out. Either way, thank you so much for watching.